Mexico volunteers visit Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, receiving the superintendent's warm welcome. Tzu Chi volunteers in Luzhou demonstrate their creativity at a New Year greeting gathering. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In the Philippines, a fire broke out in Tatalon of Quezon City on February 28th, affecting 300 households. Upon learning the news, Tzu Chi volunteers provided hot food to the firefighters and affected residents. In addition, Tzu Chi Philippines chapter is planning to distribute aid supplies on March 5th. After a busy night, firefighters and affected residents are extremely tired. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately deliver bread and hot soup to everyone.
The fire has been burning for several hours. I thought these firefighters and affected residents must be tired. Therefore, I text messaged the other volunteers before dawn to come prepare noodle soup for everyone.
A fire broke out in Tatalon of Quezon City on February 28th. The fire spread quickly and affected 300 households. Many residents tried to save their belongings, but the efforts were in vain.
I run an internet cafe which has 10 computers and 5 game machines. They were all destroyed and I lost about $2,887. I pick up the components of the burned computers and sold them for only $25.
Besides providing breakfast to the firefighters and affected residents, Tzu Chi Philippines chapter's mobile kitchen also arrives at the fire site. The local volunteers of Tatalon cook hot food there so they can provide lunch and dinner as well.
Very thankful naman kami sa part ninyo.
Regardless of when a fire takes place, Tzu Chi volunteers have always supported us, providing food for us. Therefore, the residents and us firefighters won't go hungry.
Pati sa mga volunteer side.
Since many residents have been affected, they have become homeless for the time being. Tzu Chi Philippines chapter is planning to distribute aid supplies on March 5th. Mexico volunteers are visiting Taiwan, and their first stop in Taichung is Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. They've met the superintendent, who participated in free clinics in Mexico. Afterwards, they also visited Taichung Tzu Chi to share their feelings.
How are you? Good to see you.
A team of Mexico volunteers came to Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, and the superintendent, welcomes them with enthusiasm. Superintendent Jin participated in free clinics in Mexico before, so it's like a reunion with old friends when he greets the volunteers. Hospital personnel gives these volunteers a tour explaining the hospital's establishment in details. Then the superintendent has prepared a surprise for them. The surprise musical performance started with the Mexico folk song, Solito Lindo, and made these volunteers feel very warm-hearted.
I hope they can feel at home, and in the same time, through music and storytelling of different cases, I hope they can understand our efforts on medicine and charity, as well as the path we've walked through.
At night, they came to Taichung Tzu Chi to share their journey with Tzu Chi and their gratefulness with local volunteers.
I was an affected resident during the earthquake on September 19th, and due to special family situations, we can't receive government subsidies. Just when we are feeling helpless, we met Tzu Chi and opened another door of hope.
The Mexico volunteers have felt people's care and love which transcend distances and ethnicities.
At the end of last year, Hualien Prison cooperated with Tzu Chi Foundation and hosted a performance of a Sutra adaptation. Follow our report as we take you to see the changes the performance brought to these inmates.
愿行。那时候我还对慈济并不是太了解。
That time I didn't know Tzu Chi well, but I was very touched because of the Master's compassion. It's like she's saying she felt deeply for us children, having to be in jail even though it's almost Lunar New Year.
One, two, three, kneel.
They're showing everyone that they can do it, but his knee was all bruised and bleeding because of the rehearsal. He told me it will be fine tomorrow when I try to comfort him. So I always told them that I'm their family and I will always be here and never give up on them.
Since I joined the performance of the adaptation of the Sutra of Filial Piety, I've encountered sadness when my grandparents passed away. But there's also good things that happened, which is when my wife married me.
I always insist to handwrite the letter because it carries emotion, as it seems too official to type the letter. There's an inmate who is able to get a parole in these few years. He's a rather unusual child, so I wrote to him that I'm waiting for you to be home, and he said he burst into tears as soon as he saw that sentence.
受刑人跟家属要进来嘛。
I brought his mom to see him today because she hasn't seen him for a long time.
I feel that as an inmate, to not make mistakes again when we go home is normal. What we lack is to pass along the love. The great love from Master Zheng Yan made me realize that our society needs this love to pass around. If I ever step in here again, it will definitely not be because I did something wrong, but because I'm here to be a volunteer.
In Thailand, Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School has held a 2017 graduation ceremony. There were 206 graduating students who expressed their gratitude for the teachers. One graduating student remarked that she'll always remember the lessons she learned from the teachers and apply them in daily life so she can contribute to society. At the 2017 graduation ceremony of Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School, more than 200 graduating students are ready to face a new chapter of their lives.
I will always remember the beautiful memories. We all cried, including me, but I like my tears at this moment because I cried due to love. Therefore, I am in tears.
The graduating students take the diplomas and blessings from their teachers. They are filled with hope and expectations for the future.
Although I'm graduating, I will remember the lessons the master and my teachers taught me and apply them in daily life. I will help others and contribute to society.
After the graduation ceremony, the parents and graduates take pictures on campus. The parents also help the graduates put on white threads, which symbolize blessings.
At Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School, the students shape their moral characters besides learning knowledge.
I appreciate my teachers for teaching us mindfully. I've changed and I no longer worry my parents.
To celebrate the occasion, the younger students also surround the graduates, delivering their best wishes. With love and confidence, the graduates are ready to embark on a new life journey. Debbie Dai was a graduate in visual communications and worked for a department store's stationery department. She teamed with her brother to start a creative market in southern Taiwan 5 years ago. They have effectively created a platform for handicraft products and secondhand goods. They have also helped nurture young people who have limited financial resources. The market was founded around June 2012, as at that time I began to realize that I had a lot of friends making handmade products, but there wasn't many opportunities for them to sell their products, so we created this market.
The organizer is very good and has been considerate, and this helped my work as I get a lot of advice from customers.
Is this less commercial? I think no. When you're old, you might become closed off to others and want to stay at home, but when you come here, you get the praise of others and you'll be excited to join the activity.
This space used to be rented as a parking lot, and then we thought that we could start a small market and revive this old alley from our youth.
For our market, the weather is something we need to pay attention to. After 5 years, we're now all able to read satellite images. We have also experienced dengue fever and Tainan earthquake and the Kaohsiung gas explosions. I had mixed feelings at the time, and I decided to donate one day's income to these survivors.
Hosting a market is like hosting an event, as you want the stalls to all enjoy a certain atmosphere.
Because I am a student, I had little funding at the beginning. I couldn't go anything big, but it was a big help for me, as I was able to meet a lot of people, and only later I was able to paint this shop.
Like last time, we had all of the street dance groups in Tainan come here to perform, and the place was full. And over here in front, we let some students do their graduation exhibition, and we even pay the rental cost for them.
You also make more friends during this market, as many stall owners who are willing to contribute their own drawings or their goods or a portion of their income. In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in Luzhou have organized a New Year greeting gathering. At the occasion, the participants took turns to express their New Year wishes. While some participants gave out oranges symbolizing auspiciousness, others shared some Taiwanese idioms. At Luzhou's New Year greeting gathering, the participants take turns to express their New Year wishes. Some participants are really giving out oranges and blessings.
We deliver auspiciousness and oranges to you. Please make sure you catch them. Just throw one orange at a time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Some other lively participants also share some Taiwanese idioms.
I've saved my age in Tzu Chi Special Bank, therefore I'm only 16 now.
They could read it or sing it. They can say the idioms really well.
At Tzu Chi's New Year greeting gathering at Luzhou Jingsi Hall, all the Dharma families are filled with joy. One woman seizes the occasion to pray for her parents, who are more than 80 years old.
They are very safe and healthy now. However, I hope that they can continue to be like this. I have to thank the participants sitting at my table for giving me the chance to share this wish with all the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. This wish will come true, right?
At the New Year greeting gathering, with creativity and laughter, the participants have become closer to each other. In Penang, Malaysia, a religious festival was held at a temple, and Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to set up a stand at the event. Meanwhile, patients from Tzu Chi dialysis centers in Penang and Butterworth gathered to greet each other for the new year.
Making a gift baskets and preparing snacks, Malaysia Penang dialysis centers filled with festive vibes.
Many patients came to help, so I don't feel tired, no matter how much I need to do. I am very touched for them to come because they help a lot, like making baskets and breads. Some of them even came at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang and Butterworth hosted a gathering for about 80 patients and their family members to meet and greet each other.
Although I have a mobility problem, but I can still use my talents to give. I hope in the coming future I can have more chances to put in my efforts and be a giver.
Although it's only a short 2-hour gathering, but it gave us a chance to get to know each other and opened a channel for patients in Penang and Butterworth to interact.
With volunteers' companionship, many dialysis patients turn the negative emotions from their sickness into positive energy to help others. Another part of the city, the historic area of Georgetown in Penang, is festive and cheerful as many different stands exhibiting different cultures, and Tzu Chi also takes part in it.
The temple ceremony is mainly to celebrate the Lunar New Year, but it's also a new beginning for everyone to go back to your heart and promote goodness in the hearts of people in Penang. I believe Penang has wonderful humanitarian culture, and there are many good and kind people here.
Tzu Chi volunteers also set up a tea ceremony area for children to present the tea of gratefulness to their parents.
It taught them about family morals and how to respect parents. Next time when I go home, I want to use this act and this ceremony to show my gratitude to my parents.
Through this tea ceremony, I can show my appreciation to my parents, for they have raised me and took good care of me.
As the temple hosts a religious festival, the volunteers also pass down the tradition and morals of Chinese culture.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi care recipient Salmia once faced leg amputation because of diabetes. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers encouraged her to receive medical treatment while asking her neighbors to take care of her daughter. Finally, her legs were saved and she has found peace in her heart.
The 44-year-old Salmaya is a single mother with 2 sons and 1 daughter. When her daughter was born, her brain lacked oxygen and damaged the nerve systems, hence she needs to lie in bed all the time. Salmaya herself suffered from diabetes and she once risked losing her leg due to an ulcerated wound from falling down, but she didn't go to a doctor.
I don't want to go to the doctor because I can't leave my daughter alone. My heart won't feel at ease in the hospital if no one can take care of her.
Tzu Chi volunteers came into her life and found a neighbor to help her care for her daughter so that she can receive medical treatment in the hospital. With help and care from Tima doctors for half a year, Salmaya finally kept her leg. Now she turned her hand from a receiver to a giver and saved up her bamboo coin bank to help others. Her story has touched people around her.
Tzu Chi is a pure organization, and so is the heart of volunteers. They help others regardless of religions, so we should help each other regardless of ethnicity. We don't have money to help others, but we can put our efforts in.
Love has changed Salmaya's destiny and impacted people around her, hoping that her story can be an inspiration to more people that the great love transcends any barriers and can light up any dark corners in remote villages.
A 70-year-old man from Nantou suffered from a hoarse voice almost becoming silent. He immediately sought out medical treatment. After a series of tests, it was found that a tumor has impacted his laryngeal nerve, causing hoarseness and lung cancer. He is currently seeking active treatment.
This person can't speak as a result of his lung cancer.
How can he make such a little sound? It must be related to cancer, which is causing this individual to experience speech problems.
It's not related to a cold, as it may be related to his throat.
A 70-year-old man in Nantou found it hard to speak for 2 weeks and his voice became hoarse, as he later found it hard to make any sound at all as he went for a medical checkup.
Because of his hoarse voice and inability to speak, he was scared as he first visited ENT clinic, and at the time, the right side of his neck was swollen, indicating a problem with lymphatic node.
His neck was examined as he was sent to the chest medicine department where he had an MRI and was found that stage 4 lung cancer and a tumor was affecting his ability to speak.
This lung cancer transferred to the mediastinal lymph node, putting pressure on it, which supports the throat muscle. A nerve called the recurrent laryngeal nerve was affected by the pressure, resulting in poor vocal cord activity.
This man has a prior history of lung cancer, as he was a former smoker. Doctors warn that if someone loses their voice for 2 weeks, they should quickly go to a doctor and have a checkup.
City volunteers in Medan, Indonesia often hold free clinics and distributions to help underprivileged people. Recently, they invited care recipients and community residents to a gratitude ceremony to review Tzu Chi's work from the past year.
Tzu Chi Medan office invites care recipients, Tzu Chi donating members, religious leaders, and local dignitaries to a gratitude ceremony. Many people bring their coin bags along to donate them.
Jadi biarpun acara kita itu selalu.
We also invited religious leaders to the event because we want to show a union among all religious groups. We also showed them the images of our work in northern Sumatra.
Tzu Chi's conduct a performance to start the ceremony. The attendees can see Tzu Chi's work of love from the past year through a video.
I hope in the future we can see this kind of activity where Tzu Chi volunteers give help in every corner of Indonesia and also sense the government's care so they can improve the people's lives in North Sumatra.
13-year-old Afif goes on the stage with his crutches and tells the audiences that with the volunteers' help, he is able to receive treatment after a car accident.
Atas bantuannya saya bisa jadi seperti ini lagi.
I really want to thank Tzu Chi's help because I've become better. I hope the great love can be more widespread.
Tzu Chi volunteers assist those who are lonely and helpless so they can be cared for. The volunteers will continue to spread love to more corners in the new year.
In Australia, Tzu Chi Academy has asked the children to plant potted plants to celebrate the new year. These plants are then sold to raise funds for Hualien's earthquake victims. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.